Stockboy here, bringing you that Lost Realm that I promised. Now, the reason why I'm uploading my Lost Realm gameplay is I want to show you guys how I've used the new Hero Destroyer. I don't like to just be the first person to do things just to shoot it out there. I mean, I leave other YouTubers who are really good at researching information and finding things like how the useful a hero is and this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, I like to bring you guys tips and my way of doing things. Hopefully it helps you guys out. I know a lot of the times when I was stuck, I'd look up some YouTubers and I'd figure out a way for me to copy or implement what they were doing to better my gameplay. So check this out. This is the setup that I like to use. Depending on your talents, you may want to play with the setup. Use what works best for you as far as that goes. But as far as the base setup, you want to use this setup in general for you to progress in this category. So check this out. We got the Here Be Demons going on. We got the nice update finally for iOS, so I could bring you all that. Now, the way that I use this team, of course, you know how Pumpkin Duke and Cupid work. They just boost up teams no matter what they do. But Chieftain, he's got a 5/5 Revitalize. So does my Ares. And right now, Destroyer is with Crest that give him 205 Revitalize. And today, I also rolled him a Berserk 205. So, not that great for the Destroyer, but I just got him. So, we need time to work on him. We need time to roll those talents that he needs. So, in due time. But, however, because of my other guys, they're pretty much able to support him. So, that's pretty much where he's at now. So let's get right into it. So Lost Realm, you're gonna go against these groups that are pretty difficult. They pretty much have like a lot of stunners or this, that, and the first. But first, I'm gonna show you my battle altar fights. I pretty much hold battle altars down pretty damn well because of the setup that I use. It's kind of like a stun unit. This person looks like he was set up for Here Be Demon and just never swapped it out. So that's just gonna be pretty easy for me to take over this one. But with this setup, the reason why I recommend it is because I had the most success. I went through some struggles with other team setups that was hard for me to beat other people's teams with. Once I got that 5/5 Revitalize, of course, and I got Ares to 8 of 9, I'm able to lock down all the heroes, so that's not really an issue for me anymore. And with Destroyer and Minotaur working off of each other's stun, they pretty much are just taking turns and just letting that play out. And that's another reason why with the setup I have Destroyer set back further. So Ares locks them down, Chieftain stuns them, and then you have Destroyer's stun going off. And all the while, a couple seconds later, you have Ares doing it again, and they just kind of round robin. So it works out pretty nicely. And that's pretty much an effective team. As you see, I'm pretty much one-shotting all these battle altars. I don't really have to change range, move around any guys anymore. The only time I run into a difficult situation at all is when I'm going against those high level heroes for the CPU. So when that happens, sometimes I have to swap out my druid. They just don't live long enough. I don't think my Pumpkin Duke lives long enough for him to be effective as far as progressing in that. So pretty much running through all the battle altars. I didn't really run into many Ares for you to show you, but it really would have been the same effect because my Ares has a 5/5 Revitalize with an 8 of 9 talent. So he's locking down all 5 heroes, and that's pretty easy, pretty straightforward to go. I'm going to go ahead and use the stamp card. I got a couple of stamp cards today for the rewards of the gem purchases. And we'll go through a little bit of the gameplay here. I don't want the video to be too long, but it is going to be substantially longer than the other ones because I want to show you guys really in depth what the gameplay play looks like in Lost Realm for me. So let's continue into that and see if we get a Here Be Demon so I can show you guys what team I use for them now. Excuse me. Now, my team for Lost Realm, for the computer, and for PvP, when you get to the battle altars, is different from the Here Be Demons. You cannot use this team effectively. Personally, I cannot use this team the same way I do the Here Be Demons, and I'll show you why. Sorry, guys. And so what I do is I usually swap out. Now, the main key guys that I use for Here Be Demon is Moltanica and what's his name, Sanaboom. Moltanica and Sanaboom are going to be the two guys that are primarily used for that. Of course, I'm always going to have a Pumpkin Duke, Cupid, and sometimes I'll throw out Pixie when it comes to wanting to lock down the guy, because if you have like a Reflector Demon, you don't want him to proc at all. It will be, yeah, pretty much a one-shot deal with him. So hopefully we can get one of the demons to pop up here without it taking too long, because I don't want to kill you guys. I know really dragged out videos aren't that great unless you're really into it, so I don't want to go ahead and do that. But I want to go ahead and go through a couple of these groups here. Like, this group was a little tough, but I'm pretty confident that there's not a group that's going to come up that I cannot beat the first time around. And if I do, like I said, I pretty much swap out one of the heroes for Druid, and it's usually the Chieftain or the Destroyer that I swap out for him, because everybody else I kind of want to keep in the games because of their beneficials. So, you know, I would say the main three guys you want to keep in there at all times is Pumpkin Duke and Ares. Everyone else you could kind of play on. Unfortunately, if you don't have a Pumpkin Duke, shout out to my boy Matt who tried to roll some gems today on him. If you don't have Pumpkin Duke, unfortunately, yeah, if you're a free-to-play player, good luck. If you're a pay-to-play player, you want to focus on getting yourself a Pumpkin Duke before rolling any talents or anything like that. I mean, second to him would be Cupid, and third to that would be a 5/5 Revitalize on Ares. Obviously, you got to get Ares first, but you know what I mean. So that all ties together. That's all going to make the game a lot easier for you. If you love the game enough and you feel like I want to take it to the next level, put in a few bucks and see what you can come up with. It all depends on the person, and it all depends on your personal preference. If you're a free-to-play player, I have free-to-play videos that you can watch. Your progression is going to be a lot slower, but I've seen great things from free-to-play, so don't feel like, well, I can't really enjoy this game. You can. I mean, you just have to enjoy it in your state of level. So we have a stun target one. We're going to go ahead and switch up the team. Like I said, I don't use this team makeup, but this is pretty much what my team looks like when I'm farming this on a day-to-day, and I do farm this a lot. I use a lot of my gems to re-up the stamina for me to go ahead and get more Here Be Demons, because it's a guaranteed mythic crest bag, all the while trying to get the treasures. But going off topic, I apologize. Druid, definitely want to get him in there. I already forgot what kind of demon it was. I'm talking too much. But I'm going to guess and take it from there. Sanaboom, this is the wrong set. You want to move Pumpkin Duke here, Santa there. And for the third person, I don't remember who it was, so I'm going to put Pixie for worst case scenario. Stuns targets. Yeah, that's pretty much, you know what? As a matter of fact, sometimes I take Druid out. Okay, he's not the huge damage boss, so I don't really have to worry about my dragon going down too quickly. So we'll go ahead and swap him out for Ares. Now, the way that Here Be Demons works, obviously you guys already know you have to find a teammate to do that, and you want to check what guys he has. Personally, I don't do that because I'm a lazy SOB. So I pretty much just pick someone until it goes. I mean, after you run out of tries, it costs 5 gems, and I'm a pay-to-play player, so 5 gems is nothing really to me, and I usually doesn't take it that far. JT is running a Druid on this one. I would have liked if he had an Ares. For argument's sake, let's say I'm actually a person who looks at them and blah, 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 blah. So we're looking for a Ares, Pumpkin Duke, and a Druid, because I didn't put a Druid in, and I want to be able to get some kind of heals going, because even though he's not the heavy damage boss, doesn't mean he can't go ahead and take my team down. So Druid, okay, almost there. That might have worked, but looking optimally for Ares. Angry Bird 4 usually has it. Yeah, there's the Ares. Oh, he has no Druid. Brad. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just do this with JT. He's all business. You guys are familiar with him. I've shot him out enough. So let's see what happens. He's got the Druid. He doesn't have the Ares, but that's okay. Hopefully we slow the boss down enough with the Dragon, Moltanica, and with Sanaboom they're both going to go ahead and slow him down. And then you got Pixie with his scatter, of course, and we got two on the field. So pay attention to his energy bar. You're going to keep seeing it drop down right before he procs, and he's attacking so slow that by the time he's trying to build that last proc off to stun all the guys, he can't really get it off. So this doesn't work 100% of the time. Sometimes the boss just gets lucky, so to speak. In between the Ares stun and his slowdown swings, he sometimes just gets it at the right moment. I don't think that's going to happen today, but yeah. So it's very beneficial to have Pixie. I remember when Pixie first came out, everybody was like, "He's not that useful. How am I getting? Why did I spend?" This is what I'm talking about. Every hero is a tool in the shed. Okay, it may not be useful today, but you don't know what the next update's gonna bring. And her scatter is amazing. And when it comes to the boss that puts the shield up and turns all the damage to zero. I think it's called the deflect. No, not deflect. I forgot exactly the name of it, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Turns all your damage into the little Cheerios, so he doesn't lose any damage. So that's a one-shot deal right there, guys. So that setup is pretty effective, and it's universal. The only things you have to swap out are a few heroes from this. If it's the heavy damage one, I'll go ahead and I'll put a druid in there. I haven't tested this against the heavy damage. I don't think it's feasible. However, if your Moltenica has like a secondary talent as like a life drain, you may be able to get away with it. So I wouldn't count it out just yet. And oh, don't forget, guys, switch it back when you're doing Mesa. You hear me? Lost Realm. Again, that is not my setup. Okay, I usually do that. I'm very anal and neurotic when it comes to that. I apologize. I like to put down monsters slowly. And let's get back on the horse. So, now, one thing I noticed, the bigger groups that are harder that you could beat are great. They give better rewards. However, if you're trying to get more Hirby and Treasure Crows come out, you might want to pick the smaller groups that give you less rewards up front, but give you more rewards in turn, because the more groups you fight, the more chance you have of that popping up. I believe every time after you have a chance for something to pop up. I think that's how it works. I don't do research on things. I'm like the most terrible tip giver ever. But that was my experience with this. So here be Demon again. So there you saw me pick like little 6 stam guys, and here we got another Here Be Demon. Now if it was 15 a pop, I'm draining more steps. Huge damage, very good. That is the example I was looking for. Let's get into it. Pumpkin Duke, Moltenica. Sorry guys, I'm on like no sleep over 2 days. So you know what? We may need Cupid, because when Cupid procs, he helps everyone last a little bit longer. And that is definitely beneficial. However, I think that Ares is more important in this situation, because if he procs, no one is going to ever be able to survive him. So let's do that, and let's get the druid. Matter of fact, let's put that into test. I said before, I'm sorry, who did I have before? Was it Cupid? Oh my goodness, it was Pixie. Sorry, I apologize, guys. It was Pixie. This was a setup I used just before. Let's see how it turns up with the huge damage boss. Now, of course, it's subject to be... There's so many variables because there's another person involved, so you can't really go by that. It's not like I'm doing it with JT again, where it would be an exact matchup. However, it's similar enough. I generally want to pick somebody else with Ares. Hold on, let me just check something real quick. Yeah, I've got an Ares. So, yeah, huge damage. I want somebody with a healer indefinitely. It's just going to be impossible if there's no healer, obviously. So, that's just going to be all downhill. So, we're looking for somebody with a Druhad. And yes, I call him Druhad. I know it's Druid. I don't want any of you people to be like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? This fucking sick nerd. Sorry, language. Well. Slim pickings, huh? So, in this case, I might want to be the one with the druid. We'll try it with this person, with Jay. Let's see what happens. Yeah. So basically, I'm hoping my guys get him revved up enough. I mean, get revved up enough from the beginning that he doesn't proc. Doesn't look like he's having too much trouble doing so. He got locked down there. Pixie's going to town, dropping his meter again, just like the other boss. He looks like he dropped one of my guys because he did turn his back to me. But hopefully, whoever is tanking him now is able to do it now that everybody is revved up from the two Pumpkin Duke procs. So we'll see what happens. I mean, he does huge damage, but he does have less health than the other guy because he's dropping a lot quicker. That much I can see. And let's see if it's feasible for you to use the same team. Now, of course, it's not 100% feasible from the other team that I was using because I didn't lose anybody last time. Maybe if I used a better tank, there are different tanks that you can use, and like I said, depending on what you have for your tank, may be better. For instance, my what's his name, Orcsbane has Crest Life Drain as a secondary talent. So let's get into that really quick just to show you. Oh my goodness, I am just not clicking the right things. I look like such a noob and I'm recording and like, oh my god, everybody's gonna so unsubscribe the 15 subscribers that I have. What am I doing? Oh my god, I'm tired. Do not do videos when you're tired. Okay, Okay, so that's why I have the life drain. I almost have a secondary stat. I'm still waiting on a few more first crest ones. So he has life drain and berserk. Beautiful, beautiful mixture. Even though his attack's slower, the 4 or 5 berserk's gonna help that out. So he might be better for that damage boss that you saw there. As far as survivability, we'll give that a shot if he does come up again. If not, meh. Let's get back into the gameplay. So this is just general gameplay. I'm not really focusing on, well, this is how you do this boss, and this is how you do the battle altar. I'm kind of doing it like all overall, which takes a little bit longer, but hey, maybe you want to see all the gameplay all together. Maybe you don't want to look for different videos, you know what I mean? You don't mind watching the extra 10, 15 minutes of everything all together and what you think will help you out the most and, what team set up. So you ask me, Stockboy, is this the only team that you could do that's a great team? Absolutely 100% not. There are great teams I've seen out there. It depends on who you've personally worked and focused on. I've seen a lot of people focus on Atlantic cores. I personally have a 4 or 5 Revitalize on mine. Obviously, I'd put a Revive Crest on him just for him to be more of a pain in the ass. However, I haven't focused on leveling him enough for that to be feasible. And these are the heroes that I felt were more important overall. The reason being is that I like to level up heroes that are useful in more than one thing. So that is the reason why you see who I am using to be those guys. So basically, the deal is Destroyer worth the money? That is the big question. That's the question that I've heard on other people's channels. Most people's opinion was no. And I am going to have to say it depends. It depends if you're a paid play-to-play player already and you love this game like I do and all the other YouTubers. Obviously, they loved it enough. Obviously, there's a bunch of people who don't do YouTubes that love this game enough. So they've gotten the hero. I wasn't. Actually, I got him right away. I wasn't even like I was far off from getting him. So I love this game. This is the only game I play on my phone. And even if I had an iPad, I mean, I'm probably going to get one in the future, but I'm not really in a rush for that because I have the iPhone 6 Plus, which is like a mini iPad. Going off topic, who cares? So this is my game, and this is the game I love to do it. I mean, this game inspired me so much that I pretty much just focus on this game and invest all my time in this game, and it inspired me enough to make YouTube channels just for the hell of it. I mean, I'd love it if I get a whole bunch of subscribers. I've tried to make my channel as professional as I can, like overnight basically. I've never done YouTube channels previous to this. I hope I'm getting better. I hope you guys are getting entertained. I don't know. Who knows? I'm not looking to get rich and famous off of it. I don't think it's possible to do that off of one game, unless it's like a number one app and blah 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 blah. But either way, this is my game. This is the game I love to play. I love to play on my off time. I love to come home, relax, and just start working on it. So that's the reason why I feel Destroyer. This is all, by the way, leading back to why I think Destroyer is worth it. Destroyer is worth it for me. He's another tool in my shed, and I found a very useful way to use him. And it's pretty much been a dominant kind of thing going on the way that I've been using him. So yeah, I mean, just good things. We had to wait long enough for the update. We got the update finally. Took like several years, but we did get it. And ever since then, I boosted up Destroyer straight to 140. I didn't take him all the way to 160. I spread the wealth out with the books out with for my other people for a little bit of might, a little bit of able to use more guys. So I'm more of a player that likes to focus on a lot of heroes rather than, let's say, a dedicated 6 and progress into one category quicker. I like to be able to do all the things in the game easily and more effectively. The quicker I can do something, the better, because the more I can gain from it and progress in the game in general. So that's just my tactic, the way I love to enjoy the game. I'm not the type of person that has to beat something really quickly and be the first one to do it to enjoy the game or to get, a good feeling out of it. I just like to, effectively beat multiple things, and the more things that come out for the game, the more I'm interested in it. So, and there are things to come. Android, I know, has the update for the multiplayer Here Be Monster. We haven't got it yet for iOS. Pretty excited about that. I've already looked at some YouTubes and did a little research on what kind of base design you want to do for that. Of course, I'll be posting videos on that as soon as I can. And yeah, so just good things. So we're not really getting anything right now. We're rounding down to the last bit of stamina that we have. So I think that I'm going to stop here. I'm not going to revamp the stam on this one because I don't want the video to be too long. But I did want to show you guys how effective I've become in the Lost Realm, especially with the new update. Getting those crest bags, mythic crest bags that is just a sweet thing because you're giving your heroes an awesome secondary talent that's completely useful and going to help you progress as much as you can. So that's that. Once we run out of stam, I'm pretty much going to wrap this up. If you guys have any questions on the Lost Realm, about my setup and what hero talents or whatever the case may be you think is best for it because you're having trouble with it, it is important that you do progress in the Lost Realm. It makes a really big difference when it comes down to having a secondary talent, because the more mythic crest bags, obviously the better talent you're going to have. I mean, just imagine a 5 or 5 PD with a 4 or 5. I think the highest you can get with crest is 4 or 5. 4 or 5 berserk. I mean, that's just, he's proccing right away and he's just going to town. So that being said, I'm level 18 in Lost Realm, trying to get to 19 ASAP, but not too much in a rush. But let me know if you guys have any questions, concerns. Stockboy out.